Computer, wake up the studio. Hey everybody, my name is Kris Johnson and welcome to my 2024 home music studio tour. Let's get into it. I'm really excited to share my home studio with you all. I moved into this house a little over a year ago and really designed this corner of the house to be my sacred space. This is my home studio where I compose music in Finale, record and mix projects in Logic Pro, as well as video editing in Adobe Premiere, and so much more. I'm going to walk you through all the gear I have in the studio and walk you through how I use it for my creative process. This video is not sponsored, but I did take the time to link every piece of gear in the description. I'm sure you noticed at the beginning of the video that I did use some voice command. If you stick around to the end, I promise you I'll show you how I set that up. Let's start out talking about the lighting in the room. I tend to keep the room pretty dark with blackout curtains on both windows so that I have some consistency whether I'm working at night or during the day. Because of this, I have several practical and filming lights set up around the room. For filming, I have a key light by Fazatan that I keep on this wall mount right in front of me. And for my fill light, I have a newer light that I keep on a wall mount behind me. Having these on a wall mount is really convenient because they're always set up. I can easily just move the angle and I'm ready to go. The Fazatan light stays plugged in at all times and I control it with this remote, turning it off and on. While with the newer light, I do have a battery pack that is rechargeable and I can simply just take that on and off as needed. For the Fazatan light, I do have an umbrella bracket attached to the wall mount so that I can easily control the angle to make sure I'm not getting any glare on my background. You'll notice behind me that I do have this industrial style desk lamp that I got from Etsy that has Edison bulbs in it. Additionally, I also have this Tiffany floor lamp in one corner, and in the opposite corner, I have an LED light. And for Zoom calls, I do keep a Thomann desk lamp right on top of my iMac. All the colored lights you see around the studio are either Lifix light bulbs or Lifix light strips, and later on in the video I'll show you how I set those up with voice command. Back in 2020, I purchased this 27-inch iMac with a 5K Retina display. When I got it, it had about 32 gigs of RAM, but I did upgrade that personally to 128. For anyone that cares, it does have a 3.8 gigahertz 8-core Intel i7 processor. For my secondary display, you'll see this massive, wide, 49-inch Samsung monitor. I absolutely love this thing. It's perfect when I have large projects and timelines up, let's say a big Finale score, a Logic Pro document, or even editing videos in Adobe Premiere. I love having all the screen real estate so I can have multiple windows open for multitasking or even just working within one project. Because I'm extra nerdy, I do think of this L shape as being two separate stations. So in one sense, I have my iMac and I want to have an Apple Magic keyboard and trackpad in front of that. And then of course I have my ultra wide monitor and I want to have another setup there. So I do have dual Magic keyboards and trackpads connected via Bluetooth. And to keep with the theme of the studio, you'll notice that they are enclosed inside of these beautiful wooden cases. For my audio interface, I am using a Universal Audio Apollo Solo. One of the things I love about this device is that it gets a great signal chain, and I also have access to all of UAD's wonderful plugins. These do output sounds into these lovely Yamaha HS8 studio monitors, which are fantastic for mixing. I do have those studio monitors powered by the Furman 8LX power conditioner. I have several microphones that I use on a regular basis, including this Shure SM7B microphone that I keep on a Rode stand connected to my desk. This is what I'm going to use for any of my Zoom calls or any of my voiceover videos as I'm screen recording. Anytime I'm recording trumpet, I am using this Infinity Generation 2 ribbon microphone from Barkley Microphones. I use this 6-channel headphone amp for any time that I'm tracking with other musicians in the studio and we both need to have cans on. I keep several control devices on my desktop at all times for my editing process. One of these devices is this knob control. I love this thing. It's made out of wood and metal and it allows you to be able to hover your mouse over any item, move the knob, and it'll either move the item up and down or left and right perfectly and incrementally. One of the reasons this is really helpful is sometimes I'll be working with automation or even volume control in Logic Pro, and it allows you to really have some fine detail. The control device that I use the most is this Loop Deck CT. This thing is absolutely amazing. Not only can I customize shortcuts per program, but when I switch between the programs, it's automatically going to change profiles, bringing up all of my shortcuts and various controls. I'm able to use all of these knobs, buttons, and touchscreens to really control any shortcut that I need. The MIDI keyboard that I'm using is this Native Instruments Complete Control S88 Mark II. I love the weighted feel of these 88 keys, and it's really great for playing and inputting MIDI. I will say there's a lot of knobs and buttons that I don't take advantage of regularly, but they are nice to know that they're there, and they do integrate well with all of Native Instruments libraries. The desk that all these items sit on is a custom design that I worked with some local designers on. I'm so happy with this build, and years later, I'm still really taking advantage of it. If you want more information on this custom desk, a few years back, I did do a dedicated video to that, which I'll link in the description. Other items that you'll notice on the desk are these custom rack mounts, as well as these headphone stands that I got from Etsy. For computer storage, I am using 2 pairs of these Blackmagic Thunderbolt RAID docks, as well as a G Technology 10TB hard drive, and 2 pairs of Samsung T7 portable hard drives that I use on the go. One Blackmagic dock is used for all of my sample libraries, while the other one is used for any current projects. I back everything up to my 10TB hard drive, and for any projects that I'm using on the go, I love these small, portable, and durable Samsung hard drives. For my camera, I am using 2 used Canon C100s that I picked up from some of my videographer friends that were upgrading their equipment. Honestly, I feel a little underqualified to have these cameras, but I love the output of them, and shout out to Matt Lima Films for showing me how to set them up. To pull the data off of these cameras, I do keep a dual memory card reader on my desktop. One of the newest additions to the studio is the Insta360 Link webcam. This is a 4K web camera that has facial recognition and AI built into it. It's pretty out of control, and pretty soon I'm going to do a full video on that, so be on the lookout. For anyone that regularly visits this channel, you know that I'm playing a Lotus Solo Max trumpet, which I am absolutely in love with. The mouthpieces I'm using are also from Lotus trumpets, and that includes a 2M Gen 3 in brass, as well as a 2M turbo wood mouthpiece. I've also built up a pretty extensive mute collection, including this set of beautifully handcrafted mutes from Clary Wood Mutes, a Hirschman KR Indigo Blue plunger mute, as well as a Hirschman Chicago Stinger Gen 2 mute. Alright, I did promise that I would talk about the voice command setup in the studio. Setting this up was relatively basic. I got the smart light strips and light bulbs from Lifix and installed those via Wi-Fi. Once you have those set up, you're able to pretty easily control those from the Lifix app. I'm able to change the color, change the theme for the entire room, as well as dim the lights to my desire. The cool part is because these are connected through Wi-Fi, I can control these no matter where I am as long as I have an internet connection. I also have my Complete Control keyboard, my desk lamp, as well as the power conditioner for my monitors, all connected to a smart power strip. This gives me the option to be able to set up voice commands for any of these items. Inside the app for this power strip, I'm able to control each individual outlet and name them. In order to group all these items together to be able to easily power on and power off my studio, I'm utilizing the Amazon Echo Dot. To control this, you're going to open up the Amazon Alexa app and you're going to create what's called a routine. With that routine, I can label a voice command that I want and then group together a number of different actions connected to these smart devices. In this case, I have 3 smart light bulbs that are all connected in this routine, as well as powering on and off my Complete Control keyboard, my desk lamp, as well as the studio monitors. I have it set up where I can turn all of them off by simply saying, "Computer, shut down the studio." To power them back on, all I have to do is say, "Computer, wake up the studio." This is really convenient because before I was having to go into the back of each one of these studio monitors and turn the power off, reach into the back of the keyboard and hit that power button off, go into the app and turn off all the lights. Instead, I have one simple voice command to control them all. Alright, and so that is a wrap for the 2024 Home Music Studio Tour. If you like this video, I do encourage you to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also share this video with anybody that you think could benefit from it. In 2024, you can look forward to seeing more gear reviews, more arranging content, and more live streams showing the behind the scenes look of how I create in this space. Alright, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Computer, shut down the studio. Peace, y'all.